Hey there guys, and welcome back to Nerdy Treasures. Let me bring you up to speed with some of my recently acquired nerdy treasures from the past month or a bit, or however long it's been since I've uploaded. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've posted, a lot of life stuff going on, but we're back at it today, geeking out over our favourite nerdy treasures. And today is the first video in a series which I'm calling
Behold my stuff.
Yeah, so this is basically me showing a bunch of stuff that don't warrant full videos by themselves. We've got Black Series, we've got Lego, we've got Funko, micro Galaxy Squadrons in there. So yeah, let's get stuck in. First up then, we've got this awesome Lego pod racing diorama. I don't collect a lot of Lego, but man, this is a lot of fun. This is the first sort of one of these sort of diorama pieces that I've picked up. And you know what's quite nice about this is quite often when you're doing Lego, it's usually like some kind of model. It's usually like symmetrical, so you build one side and then you kind of have to repeat your steps, build the other side, whereas this was just, you know, all over the place. So I never really felt like I was repeating steps. So yeah, it was quite good fun, quite interesting. I love the little versions of the Podracers, particularly the suburban one. I think they absolutely smashed that one. The Anakin one is quite cool. It's a little bit too grey. Do with a little bit more splash of colour here and there. And I'm not a big fan of the way they've done these, but I don't know, I think it works, yeah. So that is the Star Wars Lego pod racing diorama. Next up, I've got a couple of Funkos. I've got the Battle Droid and the Anakin. These are the newly released ones for the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. Again, not a big Funko guy, but there are certain ones I'll get. You know, Funko could be one of those collecting slippery slopes where you just pick up every single figure from every franchise that you kind of like. So I'm not getting into all that, just picking up the Phantom Menace ones. So the Battle Droid was a gift from my wife for Christmas, and this was a gift for my birthday from my wife. If I had to choose one of these, I think I prefer the Anakin. I really like that it's got these transparent lenses on the goggles. I don't know why, but I wasn't really expecting them to do that. And yeah, for a Funko, there's some nice details on here. The Battle Droid one's nice too, to be honest. You know, obviously with Funkos, they all have this sort of uniform head style, and the Battle Droid, you can't really do that with it. So I guess they would have had to have done a bit of thinking about how they were gonna stylize the Battle Droid in their sort of Funko way. But yeah, looks nice. And my son really likes these. He always comes into the collection room and he just like whacks all of the heads, so they like bounce about. So yeah, good fun. Pleased to have them in the Nerdy Treasure collection. Next up, I'm heading over to the Black Series, and I finally managed to get the Black Krrzantan from the Book of Boba Fett. I've wanted this figure for a long time. As I've mentioned before, I've just never seen it in store, so I've never picked it up. But this was another gift from my wife for Christmas, and you know what, I've not enjoyed a Black Series figure as much as this in a long time. There's something about when Star Wars mixes this style of like fantasy with sort of sci-fi elements. I really enjoy that aesthetic, and this just does that. It's sort of nice gladiatorial armour on him. I love the dreads in his beard. It's sort of very Viking-y. His massive blaster looks awesome, though you can't really get a very good pose with it, so I've kind of just strapped it on his back for now. But I quite like how it looks on there. Quite often when I get a weapon with a Black Series figure, I'll have them holding it, and usually they come with some weapon storage, which I don't usually use, so I thought it was nice to sort of use that on this one, and it kind of adds to that whole sort of aesthetic, just makes him look absolutely badass. Because of the bulk of him, the articulation isn't great. I guess the main pose you would want to do with him is with his blaster, and the combination of the weak articulation and the massive blaster means I can't really get it how I would like it. So that's the only downside really, and considering I'm not a big fan of like the Chewbacca, I don't know, there was something about the plasticness of the fur that's always sort of put me off that. And this is exactly the same, but I don't know why. I just like this more. I don't know if it's the weathering that they've done on it, sort of this highlight over the fur, or maybe just the fact that there's more going on to distract from the plastic fur, that I don't really mind it as much. So yeah, absolutely love Krrzantan, great figure, happy days. We're now going to head over to the Micro Galaxy Squadron, and I have here the Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator. Quite a big ship, this one, probably the biggest of any of the ones I have so far. But these things are so much fun. I love the little tiny characters you get with them. And they always come with like a surprising amount of features. We've obviously got this cockpit at the back, somewhere for Darth Maul to sit, and I think it sits like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other characters in there. I don't know who you're going to put in there, but Darth Maul can have a little party in there if he wants. And this sort of front section here lifts up, which gives you storage for the Sith speeder. Now I already had the Sith speeder from the little blind box thing, so I've popped that one in there, and the Sith speeder that came with this one I sort of just have out. These wing sections articulate, which is very cool. We've got some nice little kickstands on the bottom for some nice display ability. Oh, I just noticed something new. What is this? Wow, look at that. Ah, mate. See, I didn't even know that was there. Look at that. So you can display Darth Maul coming out of there. That is sick. Oh yeah, really cool. But yeah, really enjoying this ship, really enjoying this line in general. Sticking with the Micro Galaxy theme, we have the new pod racing multi-pack. Now this comes with the Sebulba, the Gasgano pod racer, and Dud Bolt's pod racer. So these were the main two I wanted from this set. I already had the Sebulba from the, I think it was called the Boonta Eve Classic 2-pack, which came with the Sebulba and the Anakin. So these are the main two I'm hyped about. Great designs on these. If I had to pick a favourite, it's tougher than I thought. I thought it would be this one. I remember this one back in the day, Lego released a 3-pack and it was Anakin, Sebulba and this guy for some reason. So it's kind of got a bit more of an iconic status, and the figure that this comes with is really cool. He's got like 4 arms, very odd shape. But this one's really cool too, these like sort of claw engine sort of things. The scale of these sort of pod racers on all of them, the Anakin and Sebulba as well, is sort of way off, like the size of the pod compared to the engines. But they give a nice sort of representation on the shelf, and honestly I'm just really stoked that they're doing them and continuing to do just sort of these random ones. Yeah, the Sebulba one I wasn't really that hyped about. In fact, I probably would have preferred it if they just didn't include him and they just made it a 2-pack. That said, they have actually made quite a few paint changes on this one. It's a lot more weathered up. There's a lot more sort of scratches of paint and things on here, and it sort of has a wash all over to sort of give it that filthy, sort of oily, engine-y look. So yeah, comparing it to the original, you can see quite a big difference there, and it actually is very effective. I didn't have a problem with this one, but now that I have this one next to it, this looks a lot more toy-like. It's entirely clean. I don't think tiny little bit of weathering on here, but yeah, this is going to be the new one in the display. My son actually happens to really like Sebulba's pod racing design, so this is probably going to go in his toy box. But yeah, the fact they've done this has me stoked for the fact that they might do more. I'm assuming they're probably going to do with Anakin what they've done with Sebulba here. They'll probably pack him in with another couple of pod racers, maybe give him a new paint job as well. So if they do, that would be awesome. Yeah, really enjoying this line. Really enjoying just like the deep cut ships that they're doing, like these guys. I just wish they'd sort out their distribution here in the UK. It's a nightmare trying to get hold of these things. In fact, these are supposed to be Target exclusives. I just randomly went on Amazon one day and I saw them, and it was on Prime as well, so I got it nice and speedy. So that wraps up the first episode of Behold My Stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at a few of my pickups, a few of my Christmas and birthday gifts. Let me know in the comments, what is some of your recent nerdy treasure pickups? What sort of bits did you get for Christmas? What have you picked up in like the January sales? Let me know. I really appreciate all the love I've been getting whilst I've sort of not been uploading. I've had a decent stream of subscribers and comments. If you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying what I do, please consider subscribing. It'll be a huge help, and it means a lot to me that you guys enjoy my stuff. So yeah, that'll do it today. Catch you next time.